So now I'm going to cover some general concepts about managing content within the gateway. This information is not absolutely necessary to know, but it will make a big difference in how you navigate your way around the site and potentially extricate yourself from tricky situations. So there are 4 particular topics I'd like to cover initially. The context, content types, workflow, and roles. So starting with the context, all of the content on the website is organized in a hierarchy of content, much the same as the files on the file system on your computer. If you can imagine that everything is organized in folders and potentially subfolders and objects within those folders. So let me show you how that plays out on the website itself. To give you an example straight away, if I navigate to a particular Landcare group, the URL at the top actually shows me that I'm looking at an object that is inside a folder called Groups, which is at the top of the Landcare New South Wales website. If I further navigate down into a folder below that, I notice again that the folder name is appended to the URL, showing me that I'm now looking at a folder inside a group, inside a folder, inside the website. And if I navigate even further down into an object within that folder, its name also becomes available in the URL as well. So now I'm looking at a PDF file that's inside a folder, inside a group, inside a folder, inside the website. Now this hierarchy becomes even more obvious when you log in to the portal. In particular, there is a menu item once you're logged in, if you have access to it, that will take you to the contents view of the website. Now this will actually take you to the folder structures behind the pages that sit on the front of the website. And inside there you will be able to navigate to a list of folders. From there I can navigate down into the Landcare Groups folder where I can find all the groups. And from there I can further navigate down into a particular group. And from there I can navigate into its particular folders and see if there's anything. Obviously there was nothing in that particular one. But again, this arrangement of the hierarchy of the content mirrors the URLs at the top and it mirrors the information below. Now when you get access to your Landcare group, you probably won't have access to the entire hierarchy of content across the whole site. You will be jailed to your particular group's content. So you will probably find when you go to your contents view, you will see a list of particular folders or particular content that your group has added into the system. And from here, it's actually possible to add new folders. On the left-hand side, you can actually click on an Add New link and add new content types. And from there you can actually reorganize your content on the website. So that's the first concept you really want to get your head around, is that when you're adding and viewing and editing content on the website, you want to be fairly comfortable with understanding the context of where you are within the website. So the next thing I'll talk about is content types. Within the context of the arrangement of content on the website, you can actually add and edit multiple different types of content. The most obvious ones you could imagine are folders and pages, but there are also specialized content types such as news items, events, case studies, and there are actually quite a number of specialized content types. Once you have navigated to a particular place where you want to add your content, you would click on the Add New link and it will give you a list of the available content types that you are allowed to add at that particular point. So it may actually vary depending on where you are in the website and what permissions you have. Just running through these very quickly. If you want to add a page on the website, that is simply a visible page of content. You would click on a page. If you want to add in a news item that shows up on a particular date, then that would be a news item here. A map location allows you to actually store a point or a polygon on your group's map. A link is a special item that allows you to create hyperlinks out to other places, either on the website or on other websites. An image file is where you would probably upload a photograph or a drawing. Folders are really just there to allow you to help organize other content. A file is where you would upload, say, a PDF or a Word document or a spreadsheet or some kind of file that you would otherwise have on your file system. And an event is like a calendar event that has a start and end date, and then possibly even repeating. And the other content type of note really is also a case study. And so I'll go through how to add some of these content types in a later presentation. So back to our third concept, that is workflow. And the idea here is that every piece of content on the website is actually in one particular state of workflow. So it might be private, it might be published to the group only, or it might be published to all of the public. So if we go back to our editing area, you will notice that when you view the folder contents, you'll actually see the name of the state that the content is in. If you want to change the state of that content, you can click on the checkbox and click on the state option up here, which will allow you to change it. Say you might want to retract published content. When you first create content, it is always in a private state. And private means that it is only visible to you or other admins for your group. It is not visible to the public, and it is not visible to anybody else. There is a second state called published to the group, and this will put the content in a state where it is still not visible to the public, but it will be visible to any other group member who is logged in to the group. So that might be handy for uploading, say, private minutes to meetings or sharing files. So you can imagine what you might do is create a folder within your group called minutes. You might set that folder into the published to a group state, and then you could upload content into that folder and be confident that it won't be seen by the public. And the third state, of course, is published itself, which becomes visible to all of the public. Now, the fourth concept to consider also is roles. And what this means is that different users within the system will have different roles, and you can even have different roles in different parts of the site. So it might be that you have the administrative role over one group, but you don't have any roles at all over another group. You might conceivably even have administrative roles over one or more groups, but only have a member role over another group. And so what you can do or what you can see will depend very much on what role you have in a particular part of the portal. So if you're finding that you navigate somewhere and you can't see something you're expecting to see, or you can't do something you're expecting to do, it's worthwhile checking the roles and let us know that you're having a problem, and we'll generally investigate and find out whether your roles have been set up properly or not for the function that you're trying to perform. So with those basic concepts in mind, I can then move on and give you more information about editing on the site, but generally make sure that you always have a rough idea of where you are within the context of the website, what content types you're dealing with, the workflow state, and the permissions that you have yourself.